By the end of this video, you're going to be familiar with the story of Pathward Financial. Let me adjust the zoom. Let's dive in so that your wisdom can blossom. Here we have the auditor complaining about allowances for credit losses, balance sheet. Here we see those allowances that the auditor was specifically mentioning. They're not even 15% of the cash on hand, maybe not such a big deal after all. We know this is a financial company. It's in the name, and total assets to total liabilities is at a ratio of 1.1. Very tight ship. Income statement. As their interest income is increasing in an accelerated way, their provision for credit losses is actually decreasing in an accelerated way. Basically, as they collect more interest from loans, they're expecting less loans to default. How does that work? Their non-interest income is also increasing. However, their expenses for non-interest expenses is always higher than what they make. And so overall, their non-interest side of the business doesn't make money. Once you combine the two sides of the business, this is what earnings per share has been doing. Cash flow statement. A very big row on here is called proceeds from sales of loans held for sale. Now that implies that they're actually selling off a lot of their assets, aka loans for this company. That might explain how they're increasing revenue but lowering their provision for credit losses. Several funky things going on in the latest year. Here they have a gain on selling a trademark. They've had divestitures that are one-time things. This company is shuffling around all sorts of things, maybe even potentially trying to reinvent itself. The latest year did provide significantly less cash than any of the prior years, and that was mostly due to an increase in the origination of loans held for sale. In conclusion of the opening move, we gotta look into how is it that they're originating loans one year and then selling them off the next year, and does it actually make sense for them to have such low allowances for credit losses? I mean, that's what the auditor was complaining about, and that would be the funkiest thing of this financial services business. Kind of seems like they're instigating loans with people without really the intention of being the people that are gonna get paid back in the end. Can a company get away with starting these loans and then not really caring if they're paid or not? In the notes to the item 8, we have a section called Nature of Business, and they begin to eventually explain that a significant source of revenue for the company is the purchase or origination of commercial finance loans, specifically warehouse finance loans, small business loans, and then even just straight up consumer finance loans. This looks like the company here accepting deposits from customers. Then they bundle those deposits with the future of the loan and hold that for sale. If another bank or institution purchases that loan, they then record a gain or loss on their income statement as non-interest income. Now we saw that their non-interest income was negative every single year. Well, this is kind of the explanation, is that they are selling off these loans, but they don't actually expect to make money on there. They're expecting to lose less money on those loans that they sell than they would if they were to keep them until the end of maturity. So a straight up loan company that has figured out that for its least favorite loans, if it's able to sell them off, overall it increases the efficiency of the portfolio. Coming back to the income statement, the reason that this top half, the interest income section, looks so nice and profitable is because the bottom half, this non-interest section, exists. This non-interest section, which doesn't make money any given year, exists in order to improve the quality of this top half. And overall, it's leaving them with a very healthy net income that is well over 100 million each and every year. This idea continues to show itself remarkably intelligent. In item 1, there's a section called Origination, Sales, and Servicing of Loans and Leases. This is describing how even after they've sold a loan, in some cases, they promise to continue to manage the loan on behalf of the new owners, and they charge servicing fees.
Hey, if you're getting more comfortable uncovering the stories behind the numbers, please like and subscribe.
In the latest year, over 330 million of US loans were being serviced by them after they had sold them off to another borrower. And so someone purchases the loan, presumably they make a loss, this company makes a loss, but they no longer have the credit risk, keeping their allowances for credit losses nice and low, even to the point of kind of confusing the auditor at the beginning. And as a nice little cherry on top, they get to continue to be responsible for collecting the loan payments and getting paid a little bit off the top for doing that service. They describe it as these sales have resulted in premium income for the company at the time of sale and create a stream of future servicing income. Returning to the balance sheet, we're going to look at how much of the securities that they've created, so loans that they've created, are available for sale versus the deposits that they've received, since after all, this is a bank that has actual people depositing actual money. 1.8 billion in loans available for sale right now, divided by the 5.8 billion in deposits that they've received, equals 31%. About 1/3 of all the money that's deposited into their bank is not just turned into a loan, it's turned into a loan that they can sell the risk to someone else at a little bit of a loss and then collect service fee income for the whole life of that loan. We're now going to call in the Sage Seeds AI to see what it thinks. Lots of banks have gotten good at creating loans. This might be the first time I've seen a bank that's not just gotten good at creating loans, but has created a second stream of revenue by then reselling those loans, almost even better than they originally were managing the bank. Is this double dipping actually economically viable, or are they just doing some magic trick that's working for the short term? Please like and subscribe. And before we reveal the ranking, please pause for a second and try to guess if you think this is going to rank high or low. It's also very helpful to explain your reasoning to someone near you if you're able. CASH is ranked 32 out of 374 in value for the 2022 season, scoring in the top 10%, a high ranking. I'm going to interpret what the Sage Seeds AI seems to be picking up on. This idea that you can create revenue when you originate a loan and then create more revenue when you sell that loan and service it for the foreseeable future actually means two revenue streams with the same amount of cash put out. That's efficiency in the world of finance. Versus 5-10 years ago when every dollar they spent just gave them the loan interest. Now they're collecting loan interest plus service fees for an increasing amount of their loans. It's a little bit less than 1/3 of their loans right now, but that number seems to have been increasing over the years. And as that number ticks up, they just collect more and more revenue for each dollar that they spend. Meaning that in terms of what banks are doing, this diversified bank is turning itself into a profit machine. Now, this doesn't remove it from the risks of being a bank. The auditor was not crazy to be wondering why their credit losses were so low for a bank of this size, loaning out billions and billions of dollars. It's a bit strange that they only have a couple 10 million in credit loss reserves, a genuine risk if the worst case were to occur. But as long as they're able to keep finding third parties that are willing to buy these loans from them, the credit loss reserve will look smaller than for most other banks because they're just not bothered by what happens to the loans after they've been resold. It's tough to imagine this not working for them as long as they can continue to find these third parties that are willfully obtaining the short-term gain and giving up the long-term benefits to this company. It's a very shrewd company. Thanks for watching until the end. Let me know what you think in the comments, then share your wisdom, share this video.